tell me about the second night in the house?
We had to go downtown to get some supplies, and as we were coming up the driveway, my husband stopped the car and he said to me, "Have a look up there." And it looked like there was a light coming out of every window.
And you had no electricity and there was no glass in the windows, correct?
There wasn't a pane of glass in the place. And I said to my husband, "I don't want to go up there." He said, "Well, that's where we're living now."
And how did that make you feel at the time?
And that's when I knew there was something different about it.
So what did you have to do once you arrived at the house?
We had to shovel the dirt and rubbish out of the dining room, scrub the floor, put a big fire in the fireplace, put canvas up over the windows and the doors, and we settled down for the night.
And you were pregnant at the time?
Yes, I was pregnant with the fourth daughter.
Yep.
The first one, she was 5 when we came here. Next one was 4, the next one was 2. 5 months pregnant with the fourth daughter. And then the son comes along 7.5 years later.
And is it true you only arrived with a few things in your car and that's all you had?
We came here with a picnic table with 4 seats on, 2 blow-up beds, a single bed for the 2 girls, a cot for the baby and 2 bentwood chairs.
There was also a stable boy who burned to death in his bed at the hands of his master, who is thought to haunt the coach house today. Have you ever seen him, or do you believe in ghosts, Olive?
I don't believe because I don't want to.
Yes. And what about the maid?
They say that the maid that fell over the balcony and landed on the front doorstep, people say that Mrs. Crawley may have had something to do with that. What's your feeling of that?
I feel she was pregnant to one of the menfolk of the household.
Right.
Olive, can you tell me about the morning that made you feel really quite frightened in the house and you couldn't explain what had happened? Are you able to talk about that?
Came down to get breakfast in the breakfast room.
Yep.
And there was this dead cat with its eyes gouged out on the floor. That front door's open between 10 and 4 every day. And you might have noticed there's feral cats around, and none of them attempt to come in that front door.
There's a story about a nanny that dropped a baby, is that right?
Yeah, the nanny dropped the little girl down the staircase.
And that was an accident?
She reckons something pushed it out of her arms.
Oh.
And a lot of people get that feeling on the staircase.
And how old was that baby?
Well, the child was being carried, so wouldn't have been very old.
I would have to say, after spending the day and night at the Monte Cristo Homestead, that the room pictured here would have to have been one of the most strangest rooms for me. After the death of her husband, Mrs. Crawley transformed what used to be an old box room into a small chapel, and she would have a priest come and visit her twice a week and they would pray. And it is believed that Mrs. Crawley only left the house on 2 occasions in the remaining 23 years of her life. Her ghost is reportedly seen in this room, and she was always described as being a very hard woman. And people say she was the one that ruled the house. And Olive, your late husband Reg, somebody thinks that they might have caught him on camera, is that right, out in the stable area? You say you do feel him around you. Can you tell me a little bit about how they caught that and who caught it?
That was in the local paper. Yeah.
Right.
That was taken 3 months after he passed away 4 years ago.
Olive, thank you so much for spending this time with us today and hearing all your stories. So fascinating. We can't wait to come back and do an investigation with you again. Thank you so much.